Hi guys, so welcome to another match-worn player custom boot review. In today's video we're going to be looking at a completely custom pair of Puma Ultra 1.2s. Now this is one of the most modified pairs of football boots that you'll see around anywhere. They were actually worn by FC Barcelona striker and Argentina star Sergio Agüero. They were worn last season in the 2020-21 season whilst playing for Manchester City. Which of course proved to be his last season at the club. So stick around if you want to see all the details of his custom pair of match-worn boots. Okay, so first of all let's start off with the upper. So the upper construction of Agüero's pair of Puma Ultra 1.2s is totally different to what you'd find on the standard retail version model of this boot. So if you look closely you'll notice there's a seam at the central part of the boot on either side. That is because the forefoot is actually made up of a soft premium leather, and then the rear of the boot is made up of a soft synthetic construction. It's actually extremely padded in the rear of the boot, which gives it a lot more structure than what you'd find on the retail version. Okay, so Puma have actually applied a graphic print of the knit effect of the retail version upper. So this runs across the entirety of the upper to give the impression that Sergio is wearing just a standard pair of Puma Ultras, but this is so far from the case. It's actually borderline deceitful. So he's actually wearing a totally different pair to what he's advertising. Okay, so just to give you an idea of how well Puma have sort of mimicked the knit design in order to camouflage Agüero's boots. On the left here is a pair of Giorgio Chiellini's match-worn Puma Ultras, but the upper is actually the same as what you'd find on the retail version. So side by side with Agüero's custom pair, you'll notice it's actually, from a distance, it sort of appears to be the same, but as you can tell it's very far from the truth when looking up close and side by side. The modifications to the upper do not end there. At the rear of the boot, Puma have applied Benji, which is the name of Agüero's son, along with his squad number 10 and the Argentina flag. He has had this applied to all of his boots across his entire career. Many players like to personalise their boots with a lot of personal messages, so a lot of the time it is their children's names, but sometimes you may find that they have a phrase that may be important to them, or just something as simple as their initials. It really does differentiate between player to player. Okay, the modifications do not stop there either. So the retail version features a one-piece knitted upper with a built-in thumb design, whereas Agüero's pair, he has a more traditional lacing setup with a traditional tongue. So as you can see, this is completely custom made just for Agüero's boots, and the size label actually states athlete exclusive, so just meaning that this pair cannot be sold on a retail market. The tongue itself actually features a sort of a mesh centre with a considerable amount of padding which runs right the way through to the bottom of the tongue. So that provides obviously protection from lace bite, as well as just adding overall comfort. So then if we look at the sole plate of the boots, again there's more modifications made. So this pair has actually had the sole plate made to be considerably wider than the retail version. They also feature conical studs rather than the triangular shaped ones you'd find on the retail version. Now for comparison, on the right is a pair of Alexander Zinchenko's match-worn boots, but he actually has the standard sole plate. So if you look closely you'll actually notice that on the left Agüero's pair just state FG, and Zinchenko's pair actually state FG AG, which is the retail sole plate. So Agüero's is specifically designed just for firm ground with the conical studs. As you can see, the midfoot is actually noticeably wider, and then again the conical studs in the rear for Agüero's boots and the standard ones in the rear for Zinchenko's boot. In terms of insoles, Agüero uses the standard ones that you'd find in the retail versions with the nanogrip technology, but as you'll see here on the sticker, which signifies what materials have been used, the upper, as you can see there, it says leather. So there wasn't actually a leather version of this model released to the public, any variation. So again, just another indication that these are completely custom. Okay, so if we take a look inside the boots, then you'll notice the heel construction is again completely different. That is partially down due to the custom rear synthetic material, but the liner is completely different. So it actually wraps over the edge, preventing any blistering, but it's also considerably thicker in padding. I mean, it's just incredible how padded this heel liner is. It is throughout the entire heel liner. There's not any sort of cushions or anything. It's just a complete thick padding all the way around. Now that actually continues throughout the entirety of the boot. So running down into the forefoot area, again, it's much more padded. The retail version actually features next to no padding at all. So yeah, so the actual leather itself is backed by again a much more thicker padded liner, so it's just making the boots so much more comfortable to wear. So obviously, as you can tell, these are so different to anything you'd find on the retail market. It's actually amazing how many modifications Agüero has to his boots, but again, he is one of Puma's top sponsored athletes, so you can see why they go to these extreme lengths to cater to his needs. Now, it is of course incredibly rare and extremely difficult to get hold of a pair of match-worn boots, especially signed ones like these, from one of the best players the Premier League has ever seen. So that a lot of the time these modifications and customisations don't actually reach the public eye. Usually they are very well hidden, so obviously companies try to camouflage as much as they can the specific modifications. Obviously, until you actually see the boots in hand, a lot of the time these modifications aren't even spotted. Okay, that's it for today's video, guys. Thank you for watching. If you did enjoy the video, please subscribe to the channel and chuck the video a like whilst you're at it as well. That would be very much appreciated. Thank you very much for watching.